Welcome to ZenGeist. Hope you are all having a meaningful and mindful day. We wanted to begin with the idea behind our name and the intention of our channel. ZenGeist is all about analyzing and understanding how we may promote peace and understanding in our society. We were inspired by the German word Zeitgeist, meaning spirit of the time, and decided to create the concept of defining peace as the spirit of our time, and formed the word ZenGeist to mean anyone or anything that brings awareness to oneself as well as the individual within humanity, emphasizing the impact of the collective consciousness and its importance in society.
Right now, we're creating this YouTube channel to speak to people and hear personal stories about culture, sexuality, ethnicity, and more forms of identity we have all been assigned at birth or even throughout our lives. Hopefully, this channel will allow people to realize their own beliefs in a society where sometimes, based on our identities, our beliefs are simply given or assigned to us. Our minds naturally make quick conclusions about each person we meet for the first time. It's our job to untrain our minds and retrain them to be accepting of ideologies that are different from our own. At ZenGeist, we want to create an environment where everybody feels accepted and listened to without being judged because of stereotypes or beliefs. We want to help create a more inclusive world for the future generation where labels don't define a human being. Rather, we grant each person a chance to be more complex and fluid in their personalities.
Sometimes when we label or attempt to define somebody or something, we reduce their existence in our minds to be just their one-worded label, rather than their true selves, a multifaceted, complex being that is incapable of being confined to the rigidity of labels or stereotypes. We kind of think of people as atoms, and its electrons being an indistinguishable wave in nature. It is fluid and forever changing its position, just as we are forever changing our actions and personalities as life evolves. But once you stop an electron to define its location or velocity, it becomes a particle and remains but a glimpse of its complicated wave. Similar to when we attempt to define an individual, we tend to reduce their identity to a single category rather than a fluid wave. Well, we can go on and on about what we think what identity means, but this is about hearing what others have to say on the topic. As author Stephen Covey says, the biggest communication problem is we do not listen to understand, we listen to reply. With this in mind, we wanted to create a space where we allow individuals to share their stories safely and openly with you, our viewers, in hopes that you also attempt to listen to understand.
In the modern world where we seem to have lost the importance of collectivism, we want to create social bonding by connecting people and allowing them to share their personal stories in hope that others might relate. We hope that our viewers might be able to gain insight from our soul scholars and their ideologies to hopefully have an open mind when meeting new people. ZenGeist soul scholars are people who are kind and generous enough to share their personal stories and express their ideologies on our own channel. Anybody can be a soul scholar. If you'd like to share your opinions on our discussion topics, you can email us at zengeistofficial@gmail.com. And please follow our Instagram and Facebook page to find out more information on the topics we'll be discussing at the time.
If you would like your questions to be asked to a group of soul scholars, or even if you have a topic to discuss, please email us as well. Since this is a way to connect people and promote healthy sharing of ideas, anyone is allowed to give input and promote discussion topics interesting to them. We hope that ZenGeist can be just a stepping stone for people to take the initiative to have meaningful conversations with the people they meet and those already close to them. In reality, even the conversations we have are a reductionist view on each of our individual experiences, as language is sometimes unable to explain exactly how we feel or even who we are. This means that even though our soul scholars are sharing their stories, we may never know the full extent of the symbolic meaning of their experiences. But a conversation is better than just an assumption. In the end, we hope our videos and discussions can inspire people to reflect on their thoughts or question their own personal experiences or beliefs to generate a more inclusive society less misjudgment and stereotyping. Don't forget to subscribe to ZenGeist and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future interviews and debriefs with our soul scholars for each episode. Thank you for taking the time to hear the stories of our soul scholars.